Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Insider, what if I told you that one of the best players in the Bayside North marched into PoCOM and came out with 37 points and a dub? Jay-Sean Freeman and his performance tonight on the show coming up.
And coming up a little bit later, Delaware Hoops says Sussex Central opened their season hosting Smyrna. We have those highlights straight ahead.
And we can't forget about one of the best rivalries on Delmarva as it took center stage. Dover and Caesar Rodney see who's taking home the victory in the Colonial War later on.
Where else would you rather be on a Friday night, fellas? Welcome into your new favorite show, the Delmarva Sports Insider.
That's right, the only show giving you in-depth analysis to all sports right here on the shore.
And guys, I know, speaking for myself, with temperatures dropping, we're happy to kind of shift indoors from football to basketball season now.
Exactly right, guys. And we got a lot of stuff to go over tonight, and we definitely cannot wait to start it off with PoCOM at home in a down year last year up against Kent County, who finished as one of the top teams in the North a season ago.
Yeah, that's right. So pretty solid matchup tonight in the Bayside. So some of our preseason picks to finish atop the conference going head-to-head in the first week of the season. Now, good early matchup between two 1-8 East hopefuls. Uncharacteristically, PoCOM sloppy with the ball. This kid, Jay-Sean Freeman, comes away with it, goes all the way the other way for the layup. 14 points for the star junior in the first quarter. Warriors still got this guy anchoring the paint, though. Nigel Houston showing why he was the coach's pick for preseason Defensive Player of the Year. Now, after going down 19-6 in the first, PoCOM fights back. Brandon Snowden knocks down the triple. He finished with 11 points exactly to lead the team.
Now, Kent just going to work in the second half. Nitre Green getting to the cup for two. And then, guys, I love this. Freeman pulling up from wherever he wanted. There's one. 4 triples in the third quarter, including this one. I think he hit this from Crisfield, from NBA range.
Almost hit the ceiling.
A 37-burger for the junior as Kent goes into PoCOM and leaves with a 61-40 win.
And that's a great start for a season. We don't got to come back down here for the rest of the year, so we got it out the way and got the job done. It's very important to establish my leadership and veteran role as an 11th grader coming in this season. And I just wanted to give a team a boost and show them that anybody can go get 37 any given night.
I don't know if anybody can go get 37 like Jay-Sean Freeman can go get 37. Now, obviously, some things stand out, guys, with Kent County and how good Jay-Sean is. But the question is, how good is Kent County, outside of Jay-Sean Freeman? And what about PoCOM? Not the greatest start for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we'll start with first and foremost, Jay-Sean Freeman absolutely performed. You have to give him some credit for what he was able to do, obviously putting in the work in the offseason. I don't know how he can see with that one hair just hanging down. It always seems to be right there. But I think one of the matchups I'm really looking forward to between now and then, I guess, after the new year is going to be that Easton-Kent County matchup. Yeah. Not to say he's not going to get tested in between that time period, but I think with Copper and then, obviously Jay-Sean going head-to-head, I think that's going to be a really interesting matchup that we're going to have come in about 5 weeks or so. And then PoCOM, Nigel Houston just needs to get the ball more. And he's obviously a star defensive player. Exactly.
He can't get it to himself.
You need to feed the beast in the post.
Yeah, and then Easton dominating Mardella this week. We'll talk about that a little later in the next block, but that will be probably the matchup of the season in the North, with North Carolina losing a lot to graduation. They were the 2A East Region champs and really the dominant force of the Bayside North.
Yeah. All right, so with more on the rest of the games, why don't we toss it over to the wall to Drew.
Thanks, guys. Let's head over to Snow Hill, where a new head coach at the reins in Sean Johnson, and the Eagles looking to impress in his coaching debut. Now, Snow Hill is ready to kick off their 2018 season hosting St. Michael's, and it was all the Eagles from the opening tip. The Saints having trouble navigating the press. The Eagles quickly pounce on it. Zavon Holcomb's there to lay it in, plus the foul to set the tone with the N1. A couple plays later, Shaquan Williams tips the pass and takes off with a two-handed jam en route to a 37-0 first quarter for Snow Hill. Second quarter, more of the same. Eagles off the inbound. Zaire Johnson finds Skylar Blank in the open corner, knocks down the triple to keep the offense pouring on. And speaking of Johnson, the preseason first-teamer getting it done on the floor himself, drives straight to the rim, through the contact for the N1. Snow Hill opened the game on a 63-0 run. And the final, not a typo, guys, 102-10. Over to Y-High in the new Butch Waller Dome, inside the Waller Dome, Butch Waller Court, excuse me. And Cambridge trying to play spoiler on the special night. Yvonne Raupe with a strong take to the cup. Kayshawn Potter with the floater as the Vikings jump out to the early lead. Y-High starting to settle in after a while. The Bayside Player of the Year, preseason Player of the Year, Jaden Baker with the 3. And they added this guy too, Dorian Stevens, his first points as a member of the tribe as Y-High's up 13 at the half. Second half, Stevens from downtown. He finished with a team-high 19 points. Right behind him, Baker with the N1. He had 18 on his birthday. And then the cherry on top, one of my favorite players on this team, Matt Lowe, throwing it down as the Indians coast to the 77-57 win.
It was fun out there. I like the vibe. Hopefully we can win plenty more games, more to come. I love playing for Coach Waller, and I don't even have to talk to the players because he knows everything, and I just look for him if I need anything or any help. He helps me with everything.
Down Bagelum Park Drive, Parkside hosting North Dorchester. Rams and Eagles tied up in the fourth. North Dorchester's Levante Smith gets the lay-in off the steal. And then Parkside getting a spark from their freshman sensation, Taiwan Hardy, spotting up in the corner and knocking down the 3. This freshman's got a lot to his game, but who would have thought this was his type of game? Watch the freshman out in the open floor, gets up and throws it down. And just in case you thought the first one was a fluke, no, this isn't a replay, guys. He does it again, and Taiwan shows off tonight in the debut. Parkside goes on to top North Dorchester 65-56. And out in Berlin, Stephen Decatur opening up their season hosting Queen Anne's, and new head coach Jeff Hollis for the Lions. The Lions coming out hot. Nick Dunkerley with the 3 from just beyond the arc. He had 3 trays in the first half. QA up 29-26 at the half. Lions still pouring it on in the second. Deverin Turner with a nice drive to get the N1. A few minutes later, Charles Kay gets the pass in the left corner, and he drains the 3. Queen Anne's up 15 with just under 5 minutes to play. But Decatur has this guy, the mountain of a human being. Churchill bounds, hits the short jumper. Seahawks climb back to bring it in within 2. 54 seconds left, and to finish it off, bounds again. He had 17 in the fourth, 33 in the game to give Decatur their first lead after the free throw, and that's all they would need. The prayer at the end by QA is no good as the Seahawks go to fight back to win this one at 59-56. Guys, an interesting games. We'll send it back to you over for a couple more of those Bayside scores.
Thanks, Drew. A few more scores from last night. Bennett escapes what would have been an opening night disaster with a 3-point victory over Kent Island. Colonel Richardson with a double-digit win in Princess Anne over Washington. Crisfield playing a little defense in the graveyard. They get a 21-point victory over North Carolina, and a team some are picking to win the Bayside North. And the team that won the Bayside North a season ago, Easton, rolling with a big win over Mardella. All right, guys, so if I were to say what stood out the most to you to start this first week, what would you guys say?
I'm going to go with Y-High, but not for the amount of success that they had, but the amount of struggle that they had. They had 20-plus turnovers in a game where it looked like they just couldn't get their feet underneath them. You know, playing with a couple new guards, with Dorian Stevens coming in.
Some new guys.
Exactly, getting their feet underneath them, and it is their opening game. But if they struggle like that, trying to keep the ball under control might be an issue for them this season.
We didn't see their highlights. We ran them last night, and you can see them over on our website. But Crisfield, out there, over at that game, you got Courtray Fontaine, you got the Water Brothers, you got Justin Cohen. Exactly. They have so much talent and athleticism on this team. 21-point win, of course, a depleted North Carolina team, not with the same stars that they had last season, losing a lot of pieces, so we'll see them probably tested later on in the year. But a lot of talent on that team. Definitely think that they're going to walk away with some dubs this season.
Two of the more interesting teams we just named, Y-High, Crisfield. Circle your calendar. Those guys are matching up on Tuesday. That should be very interesting.
That'll be a good one.
In the Waller Dome.
We've
got a bunch more action on the way. When we return, Caesar Rodney and Dover, one of the oldest rivalries in the nation. They would battle it out in front of a sellout crowd. Those highlights when Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
My name is Jay Freeman. I go to Kent County High School. I play basketball for the Trojans, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.